at Unit 8.3 then, drawing triangles. Our objectives for today, to use a ruler and protractor to draw triangles accurately. Before we start, let's just check our prior knowledge. So to be able to complete this lesson, you should know the different types and sizes of angles, so acute, obtuse, reflex and right angle. You should understand how lines, angles and triangles are defined, so lines being given 2 letters, AB, angles have a symbol and then 3 letters, so for example the angle symbol then ABC, and triangles have 3 letters ABC, 1 for each vertex. You should also be able to use a protractor to accurately draw an angle. If you're struggling with any of those, please make sure you stop this video now and go back and have a look at the previous lessons. Okay, so to be able to complete this lesson then, before we start, you need to make sure you've got a ruler that's marked in centimetres and millimetres, a protractor, so it can be a semicircular one as on the screen or a full circle, and a sharp pencil. Okay, you'll also need either your maths book or some paper to draw on. Please pause the video now and make sure you've got all those things before you start. Okay, so to be able to draw triangles then accurately, there are some things we need to know. We either need to know the length of 2 sides and the included angle in a triangle, an SAS triangle. For example, this one here, we're told this side is 3 centimetres. We've got our angle of 75 degrees and another side of 5.5 centimetres. So SAS, side, angle, side, where the angle is the included angle, meaning it's between the 2 sides that we know the length of. Otherwise, we could draw a triangle if we're told the size of 2 of the angles and of one of the sides, an ASA triangle. So we've got an angle of 50, a side of 4.5 centimetres and another angle of 50, so ASA. So those are the 2 types of triangles we're going to have a go at drawing today. Let's start off then with an SAS triangle. So we're asked to draw the triangle with AB of 6, so AB must be a side. Remember, sides are defined with 2 letters. An angle B of 68, so remember this symbol is our angle symbol, so 68 degrees, and another side BC of 5 centimetres. All right, so to start this then, we always start by drawing one of the lines. I'm going to start with line AB. So we're going to use a ruler and draw line AB 6 centimetres long. I've labelled one end A and one end B. We then need to use our protractor. So we're going to put our protractor on angle B. So we want to draw angle B. So that means that the centre of our protractor, our crosshairs, must be on point B. To mark an angle of 68, remember we've got our baseline here at the bottom. The 0 on the outer scale is the one sitting on the baseline, so it's the outside scale we're going to use to measure. So we're going to count round until we get to 68 and put a small mark at 68 degrees. Remove the protractor. And now when we draw our line this time, our second line from B to C is only 5 centimetres long. So your point may be nearer than 5 centimetres or further away. So we're just going to line our ruler up from B towards C and draw our line of 5 centimetres. So we stop when we get to 5 centimetres. Label our angle on our side. And finally, using our ruler, we're going to join point A to point C to complete the triangle. All right, so now it's your turn then. So you're asked to draw the triangle below accurately using a ruler and a protractor. Now I'm going to do this with you on some plain paper so that you'll be able to pause the video at any point and make sure you're keeping up with that diagram. Okay then, so I've just copied out the question here onto a piece of paper. It's a little bit small for you to see, but we were asked to draw, the bottom line was 7 centimetres, the angle was 50 and the other side was 6 centimetres. So we're going to start off with our ruler. So the first line we're going to draw is our horizontal line here, 7 centimetres long. So taking our ruler, we need to draw nice and accurately a nice straight line from 0 to 7. Okay, I'm going to label that 7 centimeters. All right. Next then we're going to use our protractor. So I have a circular protractor, you might have a half circle. So I'm going to put my circular protractor so the crosshairs are on the end of the line there, and I'm going to check which one my 0 is on. So my 0 is on the baseline here, so that's on the outer scale, so I'm going to go round with the outer scale, and we were asked to do 50 degrees. So we go round till we reach 50 degrees. I'm going to put a little mark at 50 degrees. Okay, I'm going to remove my protractor. Now our next line only needs to be 6 centimeters long. So I'm going to put my 6 centimeters on the end of the point there, and I'm going to turn my ruler until it lines up with my mark. So my mark is here, but actually 6 centimeters is here. So from 6 at one end to 0 at the other, whichever way around you want to use your ruler. So I'm going to draw that line 6 centimeters going through the point that I'd marked. I'm going to label that one 6 centimeters. And finally then I'm going to join my other end of the triangle to the other end of the line to finish my triangle. Okay, hopefully you should have a triangle the same as that. Okay, so now that we've done our triangle there, we're going to have a look at an ASA triangle. So this triangle then has a line that's 10 centimeters, so AB is 10 centimeters. We have angle A at 35 degrees and angle B at 100 degrees. So we're going to start with our line again. Okay, so our first line AB is 10 centimeters. So we've drawn a 10 centimeter line and labeled A and B at each point. Okay, we're told the angle at A is 35, so we're going to put our protractor on A. So the crosshairs of the protractor, remember, are on point A. Our baseline here is on the 0 inside scale, so we're going to measure around this time with the inside scale. So wherever the baseline is, the 0 that the baseline is on is the one we're using. So we're going to go round to 35 degrees and put a mark there. I'm going to remove the protractor and we're going to draw a line from A all the way through that point. Now I'm going to draw quite a long line because I don't know at this point where it needs to stop. So just a nice long line through the point there. We're now going to draw our angle at B. So that means the crosshairs of our protractor need to go onto B. So there we are on B. Now the baseline this time is resting on the outer 0. So it's the outside scale we need to use. So you have to be quite careful, make sure you use the right scale. So we're going to use the outside scale until we get round to 100, which is right up here. We're going to mark that point there. Then we're going to remove our protractor and we're going to draw a line from B towards that point, but stopping when we reach the line that we already have. So we'll end up with this. We end up with this little extra bit of line because we weren't sure how long that line should be. Now that's absolutely fine. You can just leave that in. If it worries you, then you could rub it out. But I would suggest just draw back over your triangle a little bit darker and leave that line in rather than trying to get rid of it in case you accidentally rub any of the rest of your markings out. All right then, let's have a go at that. So again, I'm going to work through this next one with you on a piece of paper. So we're now asked then to draw the triangle below. So we've got 5 centimeters, our 40 degrees and our 80 degrees there. All right then, so let's have a go at drawing this one. So again, we're going to start with the line at the bottom. So I've got my ruler. Going to draw a neat line then of 5 centimeters. So from 0 across to 5. I'll try and make this nice and dark so you can see it. There we are, 5 centimeters. So we're labeling as we go, then we know where we're measuring from. Okay, now our angle of 40 degrees is from this end of the line. So again, I'm going to put my protractor on Now I can see at the minute with the circular protractor, my 0 is over here, but my baseline is over here, so I'm going to have to turn that round. So with the circular protractor, there is only 1 0, so you'll need to turn your protractor round. With the semicircular one, you should be the right way up. You just need to choose the appropriate scale. So for this one then, I'm going round anti-clockwise, so I'm going to use the inside scale. So I'm going to go round to 40 degrees and put a mark here. All right, so I'm going to draw a line from the corner through that point. So I'm just going to draw a nice long line. At the moment, I don't know how long it needs to be. So I've drawn it a little bit lighter because I know that it's probably going to be a little bit too long. But that there is our 40 degrees. Now we're going to do the same at the other side. So again, I'm going to have to turn my protractor around because I want my 0 to rest on the baseline. So my crosshairs are on the end, my 0 is resting on the baseline. And this time I'm going clockwise, so counting round, I'll need to use the outside scale. Round to 80 degrees, I'm going to put a little mark there. And when I join this up this time, my ruler, I need to start from my end of my line it up with my mark, but I just need to draw my line up to my previous line. I don't need to carry on all the way up to that point. And I'm going to label this side 80 degrees. And now just to make sure again that my triangle is nice and clear, I don't need this line here, but I'm not going to rub it out. I'm just going to go back over the line at the top of my triangle a little bit darker so I can clearly see the triangle, and I can just leave my construction line so that anybody marking it can see how I've created that triangle. Okay, pause the video if you need to, go back, make sure that yours looks the same. Okay, so finally then we're going to have a look at drawing a right-angled triangle. So we're told to draw a triangle ABC with AB of 5 centimeters, angle ABC at 90 degrees. Now remember, it's the middle letter, that's where this angle needs to be. So angle B is going to be 90 degrees and angle BAC is 60 degrees. So at point A is where we want the 60 degrees. So remember, we have these different styles of notation with our angles. All right, so again, let's start with our line then. So we're going to draw a line 5 centimeters and label that AB. We're going to start off by drawing the 90-degree angle. Now it said the angle ABC is 90 degrees. So it's at point B that we're going to put our protractor so that we can mark our 90 degrees. So we can use a protractor for this. Also, if you did have any set squares, they're those little triangle shaped things you get in your maths kit. They have a 90-degree angle as well, so you could use those to draw the 90 degrees as a bit of a quick way to get that 90 degrees accurately. But if we're just using our protractor, again, our baseline, the 0 for our baseline is on the outer scale. So we're going to go around the outer scale to 90 degrees and put a mark, remove the protractor, and we're going to draw a nice long line from B through that point. Again, at the moment, we don't know how long that line needs to be, so just nice extended line. And we've marked that with the small square to show that it's a right angle in the corner. We're now going to do the second angle, BAC. So that means the protractor needs to go at point A. So the crosshairs of our protractor on A. Our baseline is resting on the inside 0 this time, so we're going to use the inside scale, and we're going to go round to 60 degrees and put a mark there. Remove the protractor, and again, when we draw this line, we're going to go from A through the point and stop when we reach the other line. So we've gone from A through the point until we've reached our extended line, and we've marked that with 60 degrees. Again, if you need to, you could rub this little bit out, or you can just leave it in and just make your triangle a little bit darker so it's clear to see. Okay, so again, we'll have another go together. So we've got a triangle here then. We can see it's right angled. We've got 30-degree angle and we've got one side of 5 centimeters. Okay, so let's start then with the 5 centimeters. So starting off with a nice straight line, 5 centimeters long. There we are. and we're going to label that 5 centimeters. So again, using my protractor, starting on, I'm going to do the right angle first. So I've started on B where I need my right angle, my 0 is on the baseline, and I'm going clockwise around the outside scale to 90 degrees, which is here. So I've marked my 90 degrees. I'm going to draw a nice long line through my 90 degrees. Okay. We now need to draw the other angle, which is over here at point A. So let's label our points so we know where we're at. And we're going to use our protractor the other way for me. So 0 along the baseline, remember. And my scale this time needs to be the inside scale. I'm going anti-clockwise, counting upwards. And we're going to do 30 degrees. So that's here. And I'm going to join from A through that point until I reach the line. And I'm going to label that point C. So again, I could rub this out, or I can just go back over my triangle with my pencil a little bit darker and leave my construction lines in so we can see where my triangle is by just making it a little darker. And there we have it. Okay, let's put our 90 degrees in for our right angle and our 30 degrees. And we have our triangle. Okay, so I've given you 3 more there to have a go at, 1 more of different triangles there to have a go at, just to see if you can still draw those. So the key point from today's lesson then is to make an accurate drawing using your ruler and your protractor. Pause the video, have a go at drawing those. Okay, so finally for today then, our challenge question. We have an icosahedron is made up of equilateral triangles. How many equilateral triangles can you see in the net below? So pause the video, have a go at finding as many equilateral triangles as you can. All right, let's have a look at the solution for this then. So there are 20 of these small triangles there, so we should have found 20 of those, but there are also 8 of these larger triangles made by joining 4 small triangles together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pointing this way, and we've also got 4 that are upside down, so they overlap each other. So 28 in total. So well done to you if you managed to find all of those triangles. Okay, well, thank you for working with me on today's lesson. Click on the link to move on to the next lesson when you're ready.